Spent 27 years in prison. I've been out 9 years. I want to tell y'all about the day that I got arrested. The day I got arrested, I was in St. Petersburg, Florida. And I remember I was down on 9th Street. There was a police call to a domestic violence. When I was walking down the street, I was messing with this female at the time, and I had just walked out of her house. So I happened to be walking up 9th Street, and the police was sitting right there. As he was on his computer, he was doing something. He had his head down. He happened to look up. Me and him caught eye contact. He was looking at me and I was looking at him. And I didn't understand why he was looking at me so hard when you was here for them. So as I was walking down the street and everything, I kept seeing him looking in his mirror because I kept looking back. I was keeping an eye on him because, I was living a life of crimes. So I ain't know whether or not this man was looking for me or had seen me do something. I ain't know whether or not he was trying to be slick and he was really there for me, trying to get me. I happened to go around the corner and I saw when he finished doing whatever he was doing on our street, he started like going real slow, cruising down the road and everything. He looked over there at the store where I was at the time, right? So I was on the phone. I was talking to my counselor because I was a juvenile and I supposed to have been checking into this program at the time. But son told me don't go to the program. So I called. I said, hey, I can't come today. My stomach hurt. She was like, your stomach hurt. And she kept trying to ask me all these questions like she was trying to hold me on the phone, right? So I'm just sitting up there and I'm talking on the phone. All of a sudden, I was like, I got this little funny feeling. I said, okay, I'm finna go. She was like, nah, don't hang up the phone. Don't hang up the phone. I was like, man, you crazy. So anyway, when I hung up the phone, I felt like it was some foul play or something in the mix, right? So as I was standing there 10 minutes later, about 5 unmarked cars just pulled up. You could hear the tire screeching and everything. So I'm standing there. I went back by the phone booth to pretend like I'm trying to talk on the phone. So I looked down and I saw these pair of alligator shoes. Back in the days, the men wore alligator shoes. Well, it was this guy named Detective White. Now, I dealt with Detective White before. So when I saw the shoes, I knew it was him. So I was looking down and I happened to look up where he was like, let me talk to you. And I was like, nah, man, I ain't did nothing. See, I had a rapport with Detective White. And see, Detective White was on the verge of retiring at the time. So me and him, we just standing there and he talking to me, but I'm walking off. I'm like, don't chase me now, because he knew I run and they couldn't catch me because I already had experience on the track field. So he ain't want to come for me. So he was like, I just want to talk to you, Tree. I just want to talk to you. And I was like, nah, man, I ain't going no jail today. You ain't arresting me today. See, this man was like a father to me, and he really cared for juveniles, and he was kind of getting out of the system because he didn't like the way that they was doing juveniles. So anyway, I'm walking down the road. So he behind me and everything, trying to walk behind me and talk to me. So anyway, I felt like he was getting too close. So I took off. Cut the cone and I was gone. A couple days later, I'm walking down the street again, right? I see the cars come up. Police lights everywhere. Detective White get out the car again. So he walking up to me. He was like, Tree, let me talk to you. And I was like, nah, man, call your boys down. And he was like, come on, Tree, let me talk to you. I said, nah, man, call your boys down. He said, I already been to your aunt's house. We got a warrant out for your arrest. He said, come on, man, we already know everything. I was like, man, I ain't trying to hear all that, so I'm still walking. At this point, when he said, like, we already been to your aunt's house, now I'm realizing, man, I'm facing some trouble. So tears coming out of my eyes while I'm walking because I'm a little discouraged and everything, right? So I'm walking and everything, my head down. I'm upset. I'm thinking about life. I'm getting angry with everybody. I'm angry with mama. Why you left me to raise myself and everything. I'm thinking about life. And had somebody gave me a chance, I felt like I would have been a better child, man. I could have played basketball, ran tracks. You know what I'm saying? Had I had that support. So now everything running through my mind is tears running down my eyes. So I'm just walking and everything. And I'm like, I'm walking and he talking to me, right? So now the words hitting me, her words hitting me. I'm hearing what he's saying. And he was like, come on, Tree. He was like, come on, man. It's greatness in you. Come on, I want to help you. It's greatness in you. I'm like, nah, man, I don't want to hear that, man. So I'm crying. He was like, come on. He said, I ain't trying to hurt you. He said, I'm getting ready to retire. And I just want to make sure that you come in safely and get this over with while you young. So he talking to me. I'm crying and everything. So he started making sense. He was like, Tree, I'm going to tell you something. He say, I see something in you. You very special. He say, I know God got a calling for your life. He say, man, I want you to come on in. He say, I want you to come on. Let me take you in. He say, let's go and get this over with. He say, because God gonna give back to you the years that the cankerworm have taken from you. The palmer worm and caterpillar has stolen from you. He say, come on, let's get this over with. Let's defeat this giant right now. So as he talking, the Holy Spirit hitting me now. I'm crying. So I turn around and I say, Detective White, call your men off. And he was like, he told all the police, he said, y'all Come on, step off. So, they act like they don't want to step off and everything, and they want to come for me. So the more that they act like they didn't want to step off, I kept walking. He say, hey, I say everybody stop. He say, matter of fact, everybody leave the scene. So all the police start leaving. It was just him and I. And he was talking to me. He was talking to me like a dad, because my dad wasn't in my life. So he was standing there and we were face to face and he was talking to me and I was like this right here. And I was like, yes, sir. Yeah, yes, sir. And he was talking and, he was talking sense. He was making sense. So I looked up. He said, I'm going to take you in, right? He said, come on. He said, let's get this over with so we can get your life started. Because he said, you're a beautiful girl and God got a great big plan for you. But we need to get this plan set in motion by getting this out of your way. We need to defeat this giant. So he put me in the front seat of the car and everything. And he was talking to me. He was willing to take me to get something to eat. But I was so broken and hurt at the time. I was like, I don't want nothing to eat. Let's just go on in. And he was talking to me. He was really encouraging me. And when we got to the station and everything, he talked to me. He put me in the cell. And I was feeling all right about it. I was sitting in the cell. I didn't want to go to jail. I wasn't ready to face what I was about to face. But a part of me was ready to face it. 2 days later, he retired. So he wasn't really the one that was there when all the charges were slapped on me, because I guess they was kind of mad because of the favor that this man was showing me. But they did slap some charges on me that I did not do. And at this time, they had thrown his retirement party. So there was no way that he can come back in it to help me and everything. But they wait till he stepped out of the picture to start slapping the charges on me. Because at first I was just in the detention center. I didn't even know what I was being charged with. I know what I had did. I know all the stuff I had done and everything. But they didn't really read the charges. They was waiting till they get everything together. Then they was going to come back and they was going to read me the charges. But yeah, anyway, they went head on, put me in the JDC, Juvenile Detention Center. And after they read all the charges and everything, then they took me they adjudicated me as an adult, then took me to the county jail. But yeah, man, I was just thinking about that, how Detective White, he was such a good man, and how, the Bible tells you that you don't have to be afraid of authority, because, authority is there for our good. Now, if you're doing wrong, authority is a terror. And the thing is, there are some good people in the system. There are some people that will look after you. And there's some people that God has put in position, like he did for Joseph, when Joseph was sold to the Midianites and he was taken to Pharaoh in Egypt. But there were some people in place for Joseph, to fight for Joseph, to help Joseph, to put Joseph in the position that God was calling him in. Y'all be blessed. Now, you hear?